Good morning, viewers. My name's Sam Scott and I'm a children's author, and I'm here today with my good friend and fellow author TG Trooper. Hi TG. Today I'm going to be spending a bit of time interviewing TG. I'm a novice at this, so it could go brilliantly or it could go disastrously wrong, but I know we're going to have a little bit of fun. It's kind of a role reversal, as TG is usually on the opposite side of the sofa to me, interviewing other authors. So it's lovely to have you here.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you.
How are you feeling today?
I'm feeling very good and very looking forward to this interview.
Good, lovely. Well, it's great to have you here. And we're going to be talking about this book that TG Trooper wrote called Perfect Strangers. I have read the book and I can honestly say, well, you know what I thought of it. It's a real page turner. I read it in 2 days. I was unable to put it down. So we're going to be going over this book. Shall we get stuck in?
Let's start.
Good, lovely. What genre is the book to start with?
I would call it's a thriller, sort of tales of the unexpected with a little bit of horror. Do you want to know the basis of the story?
Yes, go on then. So if it's horror, I love it because it's my favourite genre, so I'm happy to hear all about it.
Well, there's a young couple, Paul and Sophie. They've been together for 8 years. They've been living together for 5 years. They've been engaged for 3 years, and they're finally going to start making plans to get married. And then a new guy turns up at her work, and he's tall and he's handsome, and they work together, and he defers to her knowledge, asks her questions, isn't patronising, and she starts to question her relationship with her fiance. Has she had all the experiences she's going to have, or is it just going to be more the same for the rest of her life?
Yeah.
Paul, then goes off and he meets somebody that he's like the best mate he's ever had, like a combination of everybody he's ever known, and they get on famously. And the whole story is, why did those two perfect people turn up at exactly the same time?
Yeah. It's always going to make you question your relationship, isn't it?
Yeah. And it gets a little bit hammer horror towards the end because...
Love it. Excellent. So where did the inspiration come for quite a complicated twist and turn story?
It came from, firstly, my love of the old hammer horror films, which were scary in the 60s, but just kind of cheesy now with wobbly cardboard sets and what have you, but they had this quality about them. And also I like the mystery of the tales of the unexpected, where things all of a sudden, didn't expect that to happen.
Yeah. Turn the story on its head and always take you by surprise.
Yes.
Yeah, which is exactly what Perfect Strangers does.
Thank you.
Yes, good, lovely. Is it part of a series? Is it a standalone?
I wanted to write books, sort of horror, supernatural, suspense stories in different genres, and this is the first one in that. All the books are standalone. So in that respect, it's a series, but I have just recently asked to write a sequel to Perfect Strangers. Okay. So trying to work in my mind how that, obviously if you've read the book, you'd know the plot twist, what's happening. So I have to find a way of taking that further and still make it readable.
You think you will go ahead with a sequel at some stage?
Yes,
yeah, lovely. I shall look forward to reading it. Other than this one, do you have any more horror stories? Any other hammer horrors going on anywhere?
Not hammer horrors as such. There is the next one is called The Story. Be Careful What You Read, and that's a supernatural story where a guy is reading a Kindle that takes over his life, and it's creating the story that it knows he wants to read. Yeah. And it says, you must never stop reading me, and he does. And
it's next on my list to read when I finish the book that I'm currently on.
And after that, there's a monster horror set in Suffolk, of all places, and a vampire horror inspired by my trip to Whitby last year.
Of course, yeah. TG and I share a love of Whitby. We've both been there many times. And if you've ever been to Whitby Abbey, it just grabs you, doesn't it? And it's a really inspiring place. Yeah. So I can see why you wrote that book, having been there.
Yeah. It's a lot of steps if you ever go there. A lot of steps.
Yeah, but well worth it. The view
absolutely.
and the ambience and everything. It's just such a great place. Love it there. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, sort of just moving away from Perfect Strangers for a moment and thinking about your life as an author. All of your books. Do you plan your stories? Are you a big planner?
No. I wish I could. I know you do. And
yeah, complete opposite here.
I try very, very hard. Not tried, but I'll write something. Then I'll be driving and I'll think, wouldn't it be great if this happened later on? I think, and I'll write that bit. I think, well, that means I've got to go back and change that.
Yeah.
And I'll end up with about 15 bits written. And then I have to kind of stitch them together. It means I have to read through loads of times to make sure I haven't duplicated anything. But I've tried planning. It doesn't work for me.
Yeah, it does work for me. But as you've just said quite rightly, that sometimes it is when you've got your first draft down, that's great, but then you put that away for a few weeks, and when you come back to it, you want to add, you've had new ideas. Sometimes when you've had a complete plan in your head, it's difficult to fit those other little pieces in, but we all do it differently. I couldn't do it without a plan, so I admire you that you can.
I did meet somebody that writes out a grid. They put each chapter and then each character, and in the grid what that character's done, and that to me would just destroy any creativity.
Yeah. There's no natural flow, is there, if you take your planning too in depth. I'd get that. Good. There's an image. This is a strange thing for me. When I read the book, I noticed that there's this little image on the back here. What's that all about?
I absolutely flatly refuse to use any AI in my writing.
Yes, so we all should.
That is I'll do more of a close up of that at some point. I want a symbol like the red tractor symbol, and so the no AI and the typewriter would let readers know that AI hadn't been used, because AI by its definition is artificial, it's average.
Yes, yeah.
And if you think about art, if we had art at the turn of the last century and you say, AI, create me some art, it would be landscapes, seascapes, cityscapes, still life and portraits, because that's what had gone before.
Yes.
There'd be no Picasso, there'd be no Salvador Dali, there'd be no cubism or surrealism, because that takes a spark of human nature. And also I think people don't want to read artificially created text.
It's taking the our ability to be creative, and that should never happen. Did you design this logo, or is this a real logo that's out there in the world?
That is the real logo, which is free to anybody to use. I got a graphic designer to come up with it. They said they don't want any royalties from it. So
lovely.
It will rely on the honesty of the author, but if they want to use that logo, stick it on your book.
Lovely. Yes, that's something.
You can't get away from. You can't get away from AI when you're doing research, because all search engines use it.
Yeah.
But as far as writing, if it's a bad paragraph, I want it to be my bad paragraph.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yeah. And that's what makes our writing authentic and believable. That some piece of writing is better than another piece, but it's never the same. It's changing all the time because of how our minds work. So good for you. And I will be using the logo in the future. Fantastic. If I may. Thank you. Lovely. So what do you love about being a writer, TG?
It sounds really, really pretentious, really corny, but when you're writing and it's all flowing nicely and you kind of get into the story yourself, you're describing somebody walking down the street and you can see that. And the other thing is when you sit down and you think, I've got an idea, 150 words. Hour later, it's 1,500 words and everything makes sense and it's exactly what you wanted to say.
Yeah.
That's really good. The other thing is I sell a lot of my books at craft fairs, and just meeting people and talking to them, and particularly if somebody comes up and said, I'd really love that book, and you sell one more book, but it's sort of makes you feel good that somebody's read it and enjoyed it.
It does. And I have the similar thing, as you know, writing for children. I visit a lot of schools and libraries, and the greatest feeling is when a child comes up to you and gives you a hug and says, "Oh, you're my favourite author. I just love your books." And it's a huge thrill, and it does make it worthwhile, doesn't it?
And my niece's son, who you gave nightmares to.
Yeah, they're not that bad, honestly. Is there anything you dislike?
The opposite of what I just said. When you sit there, and the ideas just don't come. And you plod away, and that doesn't make any sense. That contradicts itself. That's so unrealistic, it wouldn't happen. That's when it gets frustrating.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And you've mentioned the fairs that you go to, and I've attended a fair few with you as well. How do you measure your success?
Well, somebody said to me, asked me that exact question a little while ago, and is it selling 200 books a day? That would be nice, that would be successful. But it's when somebody comes up to you at the fair and goes, "I've read that, and I've got to have that one."
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. A little while ago, about a year or so ago, I still work in rock and roll, and there was a roadie. It was your typical rock and roll roadie, piercing, tattoos, spiky hair, and that. And I gave him a couple of my books, and he went off. I saw him a few weeks ago, and he said he'd read them, he'd liked them. He said that when he was younger, he used to draw anime, sort of graphic novels.
Yes.
And in his own words, that's before he discovered girls, rock and roll, and drugs. But since reading my books on the tour bus now, he's gone back to drawing again.
Yes.
And that really kind of touched me.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah.
And again, bringing home the fact that he's obviously a very creative chap. And he's lost it for a little while, as we all do.
Yeah.
We all have moments where we pick up a pen or sit at the computer and nothing comes. The same for him, that he's found his creativity again because of what you've given him.
I kind of went away thinking, oh, that was really nice.
Yeah, lovely. Then that's a big compliment, isn't it? A really, really big compliment. Well done. I like that. One day, perhaps I'll interview about your rock and roll side. But knowing nothing about rock and roll, you'd have to help me a lot with that.
You wouldn't believe the stories. You really wouldn't. Everything you think you know is true.
So, what advice would you give to any aspiring authors, young or old?
Be patient. Be patient.
Oh, yes.
We all write our stories and we publish them. We think, right, sit back, get out the Tesla sales book. I'm going to buy one of those tomorrow. But it's a marathon, not a race.
It's not as easy as people think, is it? You've got to be very thick-skinned. There's a lot of rejection and perseverance.
Yeah, and beware of scammers, because there are people there who and the scammers are ruining everything.
Yeah.
Because of the hundreds of emails that you will get in there might one day be a genuine one, but you have to dismiss it because you just don't know. And everybody wants your money, and why they think authors have got any money.
Yes, I know. And that's just it, isn't it? As soon as anybody asks for any money, then you have to turn your back on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Good advice. Thank you.
We can turn your book into a film. For $10,000.
Yes, that's it. Yes, they can turn it into a film, but it's when they ask for the money. You've got to be very, very aware. Mm-hmm. Good, lovely. So, where can we buy Perfect Strangers, Peter?
Well, this video will go on YouTube, and there'll be a link in the description. But it's available from my publisher, from Amazon. It's available in this format or in Kindle format, and yes. From my website.
Yeah, does it have a set retail price?
It has a retail price of
$7.99. Yeah, lovely.
And I think the ebooks are $2.99, I believe.
And very good value. As I say, I've read it, so give it a try. You will absolutely love it. So before we end, would you like to add anything?
thank you for interviewing me. It's been a real pleasure.
It's been my pleasure. Thank you for having me. So that's all we've got time for, guys. Do pick up one of TG's books and give them a read. There's plenty out there. As you say, you can find them on his website, but Perfect Strangers is a real page turner, so you'll love it. You won't be able to put it down. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for talking to me.
Thank you very much.
It's been a lot of fun, and I hope I've done okay.